Now at 11, nationwide protests against Tesla CEO Elon Musk.
None of us had the opportunity to vote on him or his agenda.
Why they're targeting his business as they call out his involvement in the federal government. Plus, how new tariffs issued by the Trump administration are poised to impact local breweries.
Not just the small microbreweries, it's going to hit everybody across the board.
And a local business owner pleading to the community after his shop is broken into for an 8th time.
I don't know the answer of how to stop it.
Thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Protests at Tesla stores in Portland, Seattle, and across the country were held today. Demonstrators are upset over the involvement of Tesla CEO Elon Musk in the federal government, which has led to cuts to many government agencies in the past few weeks. Protesters waved signs and called for action outside a Tesla store in South Portland on Saturday. They say the company's CEO, Elon Musk, and the Department of Government Efficiency he oversees are causing permanent harm to the country by slashing jobs across the federal government.
I worked at Tesla 8 years ago. I'm a big fan of EVs. But I'm a bigger fan of our democracy. If we don't have a democracy, we won't be able to solve problems like climate change and everything else that we care about.
Demonstrators are urging people to sell their Tesla vehicles and dump Tesla stock as a way to push back against the world's richest person.
Tesla stock is the foundation of his wealth. If we can boycott the sale of Tesla cars, if people sell Tesla stock, we can get rid of this guy.
Oregon Senator Ron Wyden has been vocal in his opposition to Musk's role in the Trump administration and has tried to block Doge's access to Americans' sensitive personal and financial information. Wyden held multiple town halls in Oregon on Saturday where he fielded questions about sweeping federal cuts and other topics. He believes what Doge and Musk are doing is illegal.
I'm trying to put points on the board every single day, reining in these practices that I think are not in compliance with the Constitution.
Democratic attorneys general from across the country have sued to stop Musk from making changes to government funding and personnel decisions. Wyden says Democrats won't stop attempting to rein in the Tesla CEO's power.
We've had some success with the Medicaid portals. We've had some success with Treasury payments. We're just going to keep going.
The protests come after a federal judge in Seattle temporarily blocked President Trump's order banning gender-affirming care for those under 19. The order threatens to withhold federal funding from hospitals that do not comply. Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown filed a lawsuit this week, arguing it violates the Constitution by discriminating against transgender people. Oregon's Attorney General joined that lawsuit.
We got an important message here from this judge today about the threats that were being made by the President of the United States to criminalize health care.
The Trump administration says this type of care includes puberty blockers, hormone therapies, and certain surgical procedures. The next hearing in this case is happening February 28th, when the Attorney General's office plans to ask for a preliminary injunction. Well, new here at 11, starting next month, President Trump will impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, as well as goods imported from Canada and Mexico. The ripple effects of those tariff increases are reaching unexpected places, including some local breweries. Aspen Shumpert stopped into one in Boise, Idaho today to learn how these changes might impact craft beer pricing.
It was the kind of Saturday afternoon where the taps are flowing.
You guys want another round?
And weekend crowds fill the tables at Lost Grove Brewing.
We just did an addition down here in Hyde Park.
But behind the bar, owner Jacob Black is crunching the numbers.
The brewery business has really transitioned a majority of its products into aluminum cans. One of our major expenses when it comes to producing our packaged products is the aluminum cans themselves, not actually the beer that goes inside of it.
And with President Donald Trump placing a 25% tariff on aluminum next month,
You know, I think it's going to hit not just the small microbreweries, it's going to hit everybody across the board, even the big guys.
Lost Grove Brewing, which fills around 200,000 aluminum cans annually, is just one of thousands of craft breweries facing this challenge.
We'd be looking at probably like a 50 cents to $1 per 6-pack.
Not too jarring of a price increase for some regulars.
I do buy their canned beer. Yeah, I think 60 cents is reasonable.
Prices that Blacks say are not optional.
It's really thin, razor thin margins on packaged products. And so, we don't have those margins to give.
All right, turning now to our weather. Snow remains on the ground in parts of the metro area. Warmer temperatures meant the precipitation we saw this morning in the valley came in the form of rain, however. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri joining us tonight. Joe, how are things looking for our Sunday?
Sunday is going to be a wet day, John, but we won't be seeing any snow throughout the coast or the valley. You go up in the Oregon Cascades, yeah, you're going to be seeing some heavy snow tonight and into tomorrow. Anywhere from 8 to 10 inches possible by the end of tomorrow. As we look at the radar right now, this is that next frontal system that's already starting to move on shore, bringing in a lot of showers. It's been a pretty wet end to your Saturday after seeing mainly dry conditions earlier today, but right around this afternoon, those rain showers really started to pick up. And again, over Mount Hood, you are looking at some snow showers and a little bit of some pockets of freezing rain as well. Watches and warnings are in place throughout parts of the Upper Hood River Valley as well as throughout parts of the Oregon Cascades. But this is what we've seen so far in the last 2 days in terms of rainfall amounts. Some of that is including snow, but again, things that kind of fell out of the sky and added it in the rain bucket looked like this. Almost a half of an inch in Eugene, just over a third of an inch throughout parts of the Portland metro area, and even a little bit of some wet conditions throughout the Pacific Northwest, all over into the Seattle area. But as we look into tomorrow morning, there will be a little bit of a window of dry conditions, basically from about 8 to 10 or so, maybe in the later part of the morning, and then it turns wet heading in the later part of the afternoon. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, because of those warmer temperatures, Multnomah County is closing its severe weather shelters today. The county says Portland's 2 seasonal shelters gave a place to stay to more than 920 people on Thursday and Friday night. The Department of Homeless Services, formerly known as the Joint Office of Homeless Services, is still tallying the results of its enhanced outreach, which had been going on since January the 10th. It does say since then it's given out thousands of blankets, ponchos, and cold weather gear, plus more than 100,000 bottles of water. The county also reports 1 person was confirmed to have died from hypothermia. That happened on February the 2nd in the 97219 zip code.
There's always people who come out of the woodwork, oh, why do you even do it? And, every time I get broken into, I ask myself that more and more too.
A popular Southeast Portland game store has been broken into again, this time for the 2nd time in 1 week. Portland police confirmed today that this is the store's 8th report of a burglary since February of 2020. One of the burglaries even happened on the owner's birthday. Our Celine Stevens has more.
I never thought selling board games would be such a difficult job.
Red Castle Games in Southeast Portland has been hit by burglars again and again and again.
I don't know the answer of how to stop it.
This time getting hit twice in 1 week, with the hit on February 10th also being the owner, Matthew Michituch's birthday.
The deadbolt was drilled out. They destroyed it. So we got a new deadbolt Monday, and then Wednesday they just that's when they did all the damage to the door frame, and they just went to town with, I assume, crowbars or something, just destroyed the frame and then opened the doors.
The burglars stealing thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon and Magic game cards, with Wednesday having the biggest hit. Some of these cards were a part of collector's packs, meaning they can be high-dollar items.
The retail on that was somewhere between 40 and 50 thousand, 40 and 50,000, and then we spent about $2,000 in repairing the door framing.
Portland police confirmed since February of 2020, the store has been burglarized 8 times. As for insurance,
I'm terrified that I'm going to get dropped. Already in the last 3 years, my insurance rates have gone up 400%.
Now he's trying to raise money through a GoFundMe to help with additional security measures. Customers I spoke with say spaces like this are needed in hopes Red Castle Games can stick around despite the recurring crime.
It's the whole concept of a third space, like somewhere to go that isn't work or home. Losing any of them would be a shame.
These guys do so much to keep our teenagers and such entertained locally. If you go by here on a Thursday night, it's wall to wall. Like this place is important.